Inside the Circle, episode 10.1 coming at you. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Last week we went over 3 things. We went over postseason, and postseason. This week we got a little more on our plate. We had a couple tournaments going on.
Great tournaments.
Oh yeah, fantastic. All North went down, along with the first ever Central Crossing Comet Classic. That's a lot going on there. We also had some league events, the MSL Ohio, the MOAC, LCL, along with CCL, yes! And we also, in this episode, we're also going to get into what's coming up as far as upcoming events are concerned, and as always, our top 10. But this week is our final top 10 until we actually get the Derby brackets in front of us. And then we will see if things change. But first, let's talk about the state duels, something that people are still kind of on the fence about. Not sure if they want to be, you know, all in for, or if they just want to kind of, I'm still going to sit back and criticize it. I love it.
I think it's gathering momentum.
So do I.
I think it's gathering momentum. I think the time frame, though, I don't like going from a regional finals to an OCC match.
Yeah?
I don't like that back-to-back stuff. Okay.
Well, I will say this. When Central Ohio starts coming in at the 3, 4, 5, and 6 seed, you might see a little more, because I don't want to say I feel bad for them, that's just the way it goes, but people got to travel all over the state to watch the top 3 teams in the state come to Central Ohio. And then 2, 3 weeks later, they got to turn around and do it all again.
Yeah.
I mean, we really got a monopoly on the traveling here, but anyway, my whole point is...
I put 2 houses on there.
Did you? You put 2 houses, that Baltic?
Yeah.
All right, Mediterranean, here we go. Let's talk state duels. Let's talk all 3 divisions. Let's start D3, go D2, and then go D1. D3, who is Central Ohio's representative at the state duels? Do we know who that is?
I don't know who it is.
It is Bishop Hartley, and as you see, they gave us some love. We've had a shipment of shirts come in. Last week it was Worthington Kilburn. They were the first ones to give. That sort of set some things off, but these guys had already given as well. Want to make sure we're doing this.
All the way leading up to the whiteboard, we will wear some of the gear we've got over the year. I appreciate all you guys as you send stuff to us for all the work we do. We appreciate the love you give back to us.
Right on.
But now that we're on Hartley, they are the regional champs. They had 2 close matches. They beat Utica by 1 point in the semifinal.
Yes.
The matches were 7-7 each, so again it comes back to the bonus matches. They beat Northmore to win the region.
Yes.
And that was 7-7 in matches as well, and that came down to bonus points. Great job.
What was the final score there?
38-33,
yes.
So big win for them. First time making a state tournament, obviously, in 2 years. Not a lot of teams have yet, but great training. They keep them focused, and they really pointed to this, and they really thought they could do it. Great job, Coach Petrella and staff.
Right on. I'll tell you what, the Hawks are really doing well. Doing a great thing there.
I think they're going to be sectional champs, too. Just to throw that in there, I think these guys are favored in 2 weeks to be sectional champs as well.
All D3 schools go to...
One goes to Cornington and...
No, they all go.
They all go to Cornington?
All to one sectional, yeah. So, okay, so D2. Let's talk about D2. Team that we called at the beginning of the season. If you go back, watch 1.1, you'll hear us talk about Amanda Clear Creek. They are absolutely stellar.
6 state qualifiers?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, returning state qualifiers. They had Granville in the semis, or no, in the finals, and they beat them
49-20?
Yes, that was the score.
Okay.
Yes, 49-20. And that got them in, so now they're in the state duels top 8 down at St. John Arena on Saturday, February 8th, and they're going to come up against Yerkesville Claymont. Fab 50 team, that means they're top 50 in the nation. They might be in the 30s. Very tough team, but you know what I love about Coach Bryson? Guys, put your foot on the line, get your nose real nice and hard, and go after it. And that's what I want to see.
Hey, real quick, is that a 2-7 matchup or 3-6?
Yes, 2-7.
It's 2-7?
Yes,
okay.
Definitely.
Well, at least they didn't draw a Graham.
True.
I mean, it could have been worse. They could have
been worse. Well, hey, let's do that. That's D2, Amanda Clear Creek. Best of luck to you and Coach Bryson. D1, let's talk D1 representatives. We have 2 from the Central District area in Delaware Hayes and Marysville. They've been at the top of our rankings all year long.
Pretty much.
And who did they draw?
Moeller and Massam Perry.
Yes.
Marysville's going against Moeller, so maybe we'll get a great matchup at 220.
Yes.
I guess the match within a match there. Delaware draws Massam Perry, and I think that's kind of a hit or miss there because Delaware Hayes is really, really solid up at the top, where Massam Perry starts to thin out a little bit.
Right.
So,
but they're still a Fab 50 team as well.
They're
so.
a Fab 50 team.
You know, I got to check on Moeller. I don't know if they are, but they're still pretty good.
Oh, Massillon Perry's probably a heavy favorite to be the state champion.
I think they're top 10. Yeah, I think they're top 10 in the nation.
Maybe higher than that, to be honest with you. That's a really good team they have there. They could be top 5, but again, we don't have that in front of us. But anyways, great accomplishment with both of them. We were happen to be at the Westville North site for that regional, and that was a great regional. You had Westville North going against Delaware on one side of the semifinals, then you had Lancaster against Tays Valley, and they were both competitive matches.
Yeah.
It was really a great night of wrestling.
Heck yeah, and then the winners came up and wrestled each other 20 minutes later. Fantastic.
Delaware Hayes beat Tays Valley 38-24 in a match that I thought was pretty respectable for Tays Valley, seeing how they've kind of had a lot of wrestling going on in the last month.
Dropped out of our top 10 there for a little while.
They did drop out and rebounded well. We have them though. I think we ranked them 5 or 6 last week. And we called this team was getting hot. So, and I think they were at Central Crossing High School for that invitational. We'll have to see how they did there as well. So.
First, let's go to the All-North. Let's talk about that. They had top 3 teams. Aforementioned, Amanda Clear Creek wins it. They beat Gahanna Lincoln, who was able to top Mount Vernon, who came in 3rd.
Right.
All 3 of those teams were tough. You had, what I loved about this, and I mentioned this, out of 14 weight classes, there were 10 teams that walked away with an individual champ.
That's crazy to me.
I don't know what that says about a tournament other than parity, but I just love the fact that all the teams can walk away and say, well, 10 teams can walk away and say, man, this is a great tournament for us.
You know, that's funny, is that absolutely defines Central District Wrestling in D1 this year to me. How many individual champions are we going to have at the Derby?
Oh, can't have 15, I know that. That's all I know.
You might have 14 though. I mean, it's just, that's Central District Wrestling to me this year.
Wow.
Parity across the board, across the board.
We will have to get to that in 2 weeks when we get to the whiteboard discussions. Well, at the All-North, Olentangy walked away with 3 champs. They had a 126.
Orange.
Olentangy Orange, yes. Olentangy Orange walks away with Hines at 126, walked away with Broski at 142, and Linz Camba was able to upend longtime nemesis Liebarger from Mount Vernon. And
speaking of Mount Vernon, they had 5 finalists there. Which I think led the tournament. Again, only had 1 champ with Lane Hinkle. A couple other matches there that didn't have team support was Lameza beat Staten 9-4.
Yes.
I think that kid solidified himself as by far the top 152-pounder.
Definitely.
And then another guy is Nadar at heavyweight for Gahanna, wins as well. And he's had a good week. He loses to Crum by 2 points and then takes Rollo to ultimate overtime.
Yes,
so
most certainly.
That kid is really getting hot right now and just another stirring the pot at heavyweight in a way we cannot possibly predict. So
no way. We call that at the beginning of the
great
season.
Great tournament up at Dubbin's Rome. Great job, Coach Huddle, of getting that tournament together.
Right on. Now that was at the All-North. So let's move down southwest to Central Crossing.
Central Crossing,
the
first
Central Crossing Comic Classic. Excellent stuff.
There in the middle.
We had Tays Valley wins it over Central Crossing by
7 points.
7 points. That's pretty tight.
Yeah, pretty competitive there.
Who are the teams, or who are the weight class, or who are the individuals, or even the weight classes that jumped out to you there?
Some of the weight classes and some of the results that jump out to you is clearly at 113, where Josh Weimer beats Nay 7-2.
James Weimer.
James Weimer. Jay Weimer and Jay Weimer. Sometimes you get confused. James Weimer beats Luke Nays 7-2, and really dominant. I think maybe had like 4 minutes of riding time.
Does he get a point for that?
He does not get a point, but he really controlled the match. Josh Weimer now jumps up from 26 to 38, beats state placer Null from Circleville.
Tyler Null
pretty convincingly. And then again, another Central Crossing guys. I don't know how they didn't win this. Teacher.
Who did he beat?
Kinzer. 1-0 in a great 1-0 match if there ever is one. Really, this kid's really coming on strong too. I'm excited to be. Where are they at for sectional? Central Crossing.
Central Crossing's at Marysville.
Yes, crazy sectional.
Yes.
So yeah, really.
Anyways,
excellent wrestling there.
Well, we mentioned those 2 tournaments. We also have some league events that went down. I think there were 4 of those. You had the MSL Ohio, in which West Jeff walks away with 5 champs. They were able to upend London, who I think we had them in our top 5 in the beginning of the season.
Yes.
London's tough. I think we had West Jeff too. Whitehall Yearling was 3rd. West Jeff really blew it out with 5 champs. They're going to win it. They had 5 chances. They beat the field by 40 points. Really did a great job. I think they won it 38, 45, 60, 82, and maybe even heavyweight. They really did a great job. Ran the score and did well. The next league championship was the MOAC, the Mid-Ohio Athletic Conference. Another team that we had on our radar, the Vikings. River Valley wins it all. They had 4 champs. They had Law at 113. Who had Rollison and Hale. They both 100 match winners now.
Oh,
great job.
Good job,
definitely.
guys.
That was at 52 and 82, and then Austin Guthrie, yes, at 195. Kid's an absolute hammer. We have mentioned the powder blue Vikings. We saw them up at Old Tanger Liberty, and I swear to you, every time I looked, sure enough, there was a powder blue Viking.
Yeah.
Did a great job. Yep. Others, we had Deshaun Haynes. Welcome back, Deshaun Haynes. Great to see you back on the mat. And Baldridge, state placer from Northmore, just a stud at 145. So we had those guys at the MOAC. What was another league? Licking County League.
Yeah.
Yeah, Licking County. Team we had, just letting you know, we had them right. They were on our radar. Granville really did a great job. They won.
Two champs? Didn't I have two champs?
Time out, they did, but they beat Utica and they beat Licking Valley. So that was your 1, 2, 3.
They beat Utica by how much?
1 point.
Again. Wow, how many times has that happened this year?
This season, within 5 points, has probably happened maybe 5 times, maybe 7 times.
I'm taking the over on that.
Yeah, are you?
I'm taking that.
Okay, no problem. Well, anywho, Granville wins at 60 and 70. They had Stephanie and Naven, 2 solid wrestlers for them, and then Utica followed by Licking Valley. Individual performances, 106. Who I just love this kid. Man, he's long, lanky. He's a 106-pound senior. Jake Adkins from Northridge, just an absolute stud. And then Newark Catholic comes in with 2 champions in Ole Stud and Hansel, another stud. Newark Catholic just running the show out there. What was the last one? The league tournament?
We had the CCL.
Yes!
CCL, the Columbus Catholic League. Hartley wins that by over 100 points. I guess the big match coming out of there is Rayburn beats Rooney 10-9 in a great match of probably 2 potential state placers.
Yep.
Yeah, Hartley. How many champs they have?
8.
They had 8 champs. So these guys are really wrestling hot. Like I said, we think they'll be sectional champions in a couple weeks. So they're running on all cylinders right now.
Think about this. There's 14 weight classes. Divide that by 2. What do you get? 7. They had more than half of the champions. Coach Petrella probably didn't even move out of that chair.
Petrella or Patella?
I think it's Petrella.
Okay.
Because my knee hurts.
Okay.
It's my Petrella tendon. I messed that one up. Let's talk about what's coming up this week. Let's talk about what's coming up this week. We've got Thursday Night Thunder. OCC championships are starting to round out. I think this is the last match for most OCCs, Ohio Capital Conferences. We have 2 matches that are going to decide their divisional team race. We have the OCC Ohio. Pick North will be at Pick Central. And then we have Old Tanger Liberty will travel to Marysville to decide the OCC Central. The other 2 have already been decided. You have Delaware Hayes, obviously. They won the Capital. And then Westerville North beat Hilliard Bradley last Thursday.
36? 33?
Yeah, I think that was the score.
Okay.
Yeah, and they win. Therefore, the Cardinal Division, Westerville North solidifies their first OCC championship since '91.
When was that? 25 years now?
I don't know. I can't do my math that
23
fast.
years?
23 years.
A long time. Let's just say a long time.
I think Coach Grant was on the mat back then.
No.
Okay, cool.
He was not.
Who did?
When you graduated in 90.
90.
I'm not sure, Coach, but I think it was 90.
Anywho, you've got 2 OCC championships that are going to be on the line. Now, also, we have some tournaments on Saturday. We have the St. Charles tournament.
Yes.
That'll be going down Lancaster.
I kind of took a little bit hit, though, because Dayton Christian was supposed to be there, but now they're in the state duel, so it takes them out. Still going to be a fun day of wrestling, but Dayton Christian would have made it really fun.
Right on. Let's talk City League.
City League. City League's at Briggs High School this year.
Okay.
Real quick question.
Go ahead.
How many City League schools are there?
I want to say 16?
16!
16,
wow,
yes!
I never thought you'd get that.
Boom!
Schools. That is a boom moment.
Anything else? Any other questions you want to throw my way? No? Okay. We also got the state duels. Mention that. Those are going to take place at St. John Arena. That'll be on Saturday.
11 o'clock start time.
Ooh, is that right?
That's right.
I want to go. I want to see...
6 mats, 2 for each division. Keep them going.
Keep them going. Shawn, we got one thing left.
We got 2 things left.
Oh, do we?
I see that you have 18 days of Derby.
Yes, we do.
Can you get this question? This is what they really want to know. It's not what our rankings are, or how many days of Derby. It's how many days till the whiteboard prediction.
Ooh, and you would be correct. I would be correct in stating.
Because this is what they want to know. Whatever day you put out there, Coach, it's got to be the day. So if you say they're going to be
Sunday the 16th?
Or Monday or whatever day it is, we're holding you to it.
Okay.
How many days?
Time out. Hold on. It might have to be Monday because you guys ready for this? Here's something else that's coming up in the next couple weeks. The sectionals are the 15th.
Yes.
First off, Valentine's Day is the 14th.
Okay.
Do something special for someone you love. Okay? The 15th is sectionals. The 16th and the 17th are the National Coaches Wrestling Association duels held at St. John Arena. So, we got to figure out how we're going to squeeze in.
We're not squeezing them, let's just say. It will be that third day.
That Tuesday.
No, it'll be Monday night.
It'll be Monday night?
Monday night, guys. Monday night.
Monday night. So we'll just leave a little early from the National Wrestling. Okay.
Or just stay up really late.
Yeah. Well, here's
line 4.
Who cares? Hey, without further ado, let's get to the top 10.
The final top 10 rankings
The
the whiteboard prediction.
Right on. Final rankings. Real quick.
Let's write final on here somewhere.
Okay.
Anyway, I mean, you can write it like across if you want.
Final.
You write so big.
I know I do. Keep telling me about it. Here we go. 6, 7, 8. Coach, for this final one, if you don't mind me asking, where are we going to start?
We'll start at the top. I think we got some mixing up down here. We're going to start at the top here.
And let's see if anybody can notice the 2 or 3. We're going to mention them. So, all right, here we go. At the top, you have
Delaware Hayes in an absolute landslide.
Landslide, it says.
It's turned into an absolute landslide at this point. Still go back to that sectional. Marysville's going to knock each other out. Delaware Hayes, they're going to win by opening furlongs here.
Afraid of change.
Number 2, Westerville North. Coming off that first league win, I don't even know what you're singing.
Landslide.
Landslide.
Westerville North.
Okay. We'll play that in the background for the
whiteboard. There you go. Westerville North OCC champs.
Number 3, Marysville. I think these guys are just flat out locked in at number 3 right now. I don't think they can move up, and they have way too much firepower to move down.
Gotcha.
They are just number 3, and I think this is pretty solid, even depending on how the brackets come out. I think these guys are just kind of locked in here. 1, 2, 3.
Are you saying they're locked in there? They can't move up because they're going to get picked off in the sectional? That's kind of what you're getting at. Okay,
yes,
cool.
Yes.
And you just mentioned that, and I was saying.
Number 4 again, the same team as Pickerington Central. I think the sectionals worked out well for them. I know we're rehashing here, but they're going to just. I think they're going to have the most kids out, and they're going to score a lot of points on day 2 in either the championship or in the consolation rounds.
Are you sticking to all 14 kids make the sectional?
I said 12.
I know he said 12. I was just testing.
And number 5 is our first move. Our first move. We're moving them up from number 6. Tays Valley. Coming off a great regional run where they get tripped up by the number 1 team Hayes in the finals. They beat Lancaster. They follow that up with winning their league championship on Thursday. They wrestled Hamilton Township. And then they win the CCCC on Saturday. So
hosted by
CCHS. So definitely going in the right direction.
Let me ask you this. What is it about Tays Valley that moves them up, other than all the success they've had? Do you think, let me ask you this, do you think the sectional that they're in lends them to get more guys through in order to score points at Derby?
I think it's a combination of the sectional, plus their kids are really wrestling well now. Like Dooley beats Brusco.
Yes.
Did anybody have that? I mean, probably not. I mean, he's wrestling good. Latham takes state placer Shakur Laney to like a 1-point match. I mean, they're just wrestling well right now. So a lot of combinations, a lot of right things going right for Tays Valley at this point. So we're moving them up a spot to number 5. Number 6 is Olive.
Ooh.
Again, a little bit of a mystery team on overall depth. I think we can't really get a gauge on how far they're going to go until after sectional. I mean, we just got to see how many kids they can get out. We're thinking around 7 or 8. I think they think.
No, we're not thinking 7 or 8. We're thinking 7 is the cap of the most for Marysville.
I'm going 7.5. I want to hedge my bet here a little bit. Go 7.5, but I'm not going 8 for sure. So we'll see how that goes. 7.5, guys.
Speaking of 7.
Speaking of 7, CCHS. CCHS had a great showing at the tournament. Had a host of finalists. I think this is a good spot for them at the Marysville. I think their core kids are going to score. I think they're another team that I would put around 7 kids as well getting out. So we'll put them at number 7.
But you have to put them at 7. You can't put them at 8.
We cannot put them at 8 because 8 has already been reserved for the Yellow Jackets of Mount Vernon.
Boom!
They're 5 kids, all finalists at Dublin over the weekend. They're going to be the same final that carries them. I know Davis got in there for 3rd or 4th at 120. Yep. They're going to need a little bit of help, but their 5 are going to score heavy here, which will definitely put them in the top 10.
Who's my 9?
And number 9, falling way back the pack, is Hilliard Bradley. Go ahead and throw the stuff at me. Although I think their loss to Westerville North by a couple points for the league championship is better than it looks on paper. I think they have a lot of tweener kids, but I think right now you have to move them down a little bit to number 9.
Yep. And number 10.
Number 10, Pickerington North. I should have left them there all year. People, you know.
The Fighting Harrises.
The Fighting Harrises talked me into moving them up a little bit. I wasn't comfortable about it. They're number 10. I'm telling you, when the whiteboard prediction comes out, they are number 10. They're
okay.
Number 10.
Now, did anybody new enter? Who dropped that? Let's go this route. Who are some teams that are down in this section right here that a sectional tournament 4th, maybe 3rd, you know, that guy that got through that maybe you weren't thinking about, pushes them that can get closer or even up into this range right here. Give me a team, 2, maybe even 3.
I think there's 3 teams here. I think these are a solid top 10, but if we had 3 teams just kind of meddling around here who could get in the top 10, and I think there's only 3 that have the potential to do that, I would go with Olden Tangi of the Lewis Center as one.
Ooh.
I would go with the Lancaster Fighting Gales, and then maybe Hilliard Darby, the host school as well. They have, I think Valenti came back this week, coming off an injury. So those are 3 schools, you know, kind of like down here in this 11 to 13 spot with the good sectional could make a push up forward. When we look at this, I mean, 13 is going to be big for Darby at Marysville. Tays Valley 152 is turning into a big match for them as well.
Right on.
And the Central Crossings middleweights like 45, 52, and 60 up in Marysville is kind of going to be a key factor for them as well. So
there you go.
Right now, this is where we're at.
These are your top 10 dark horse teams. Olin, Tangi, Lancaster, and Hilliard.
I don't know if I'd put Lancaster as a dark horse, but they really need to get like a
strong sectional.
A strong sectional. Get a couple guys out that maybe score 1 or 2 points down in the consolation rounds on Saturday. So.
Well, there's your Inside the Circle final
top 10.
D1 on the top 10. We got some dark horse on the side. Anything we missed? Shout outs to anybody? I know we got a number of 100, maybe even 150 match winners. Those are going to go. Get on the ITC fan page on Facebook. People start listing stuff all the time. We got some new pictures going up. We had some new pictures go up from the Darby folks. We got some new pictures, I think, going to come up from Gahanna. I will do my best on Friday night to take some pictures at Darby and even some sectionals when I go around. I want to go to Watkins Memorial. I want to go to Upper Arlington and even Marysville. No offense, Pick Central. I just can't make my way down there and hit all 4 of them. So, but other than that, anything else, Shawn, you got for these guys?
We're good.
No? Okay. Looks good. Looks real
good.
Hey,
thanks again for the shirts, Hartley.
Yep. And thanks for the next one we will be wearing. Appreciate all the love. You are inside the circle.